Hey, so this is going to be, I think, a short video today because this is going to be talking about the new feats and backgrounds for the 2024 Player's Handbook that's coming out. And I think the biggest change that they're going to make, and I think this is a very positive change because it makes a lot more sense, is that ability scores are going to no longer going to be tied to your race or species, as it's now called, and instead they're going to be tied to your background. So instead of just getting a +2 to your Constitution because you're a dwarf, you'll get a +2 to your Constitution because of your background and how you grew up or where you came from, your origin story, which makes a lot more sense. You know, a dwarf that's a librarian isn't going to necessarily have a +2 Constitution, whereas a dwarven miner, yeah, he probably would. So, I think that's a really good change. So, backgrounds play now a significant role. Um, and they offer proficiencies and a feat at level 1, uh, which is great. So, I think that's really great because they're going to introduce feats at level 1. Feats are now, they have like a whole little thing called origin feats that go with each background. And so you can sort of custom build your character based on whatever, it doesn't matter, whatever species you choose, you can sort of have more options now, um, for class and to build out the background of your character. And also too, I think this encourages really invest, like, well, thinking about the background of your character more, which I, as a DM, I always encourage players to do that. And I wish that 5e sort of put more emphasis on that or made it easier for players to sort of think about that background in relation to their character instead of I'm just a fighter, you know? So where did you come from and stuff? Now they can also, each background provides 3 ability options. So they'll have like 3 ability scores that they can enhance, like strength, dexterity, constitution, and they can either choose +2 in one score or in +1 another score or +1 across all 3 scores, instead of a feat, and that's at 4th level, and that's something that all players get, all characters get. So there are now 16 backgrounds in the player's handbook. There were 13 for reference in the 2014 player's handbook, so that's 3 more. And then also, when they release the DMG, there's going to be a guide for DMs on how to work with the players to create custom backgrounds, um, which is great. So now you can have as many backgrounds as you want. You're not limited. You can come up with sort of any origin story for your player that you really want to do, which another great addition to the game because it just really sort of gets you into the role playing aspect of the game. Um, Species have been redesigned with new abilities, such as enhanced dark vision for dwarves or orcs, and new options like orcs, Goliaths, and Azamar are introduced. Now, these were introduced in other expansions of the 2014, like in Tasha's or Mordecaians, but now they're in the player's handbook and then in the core rules. Unique species abilities. Each species offers unique traits and options, such as Dragonborn gaining wings at higher levels. Awesome. They made the Dragonborn more Dragonborn. Because they were kind of, let's be honest, they were kind of a weak race in the 2014 Player's Handbook, and it was really thematic. Dragonborns were largely thematic, but kind of weak in other aspects. And like actually, if you wanted a mini max, you weren't going to do a Dragonborn. Um, and Goliath's like accessing giant themed abilities, and I assume they're going to have like special abilities, more specialized abilities for each species. Um, there are a total of 75 feats available in the new player's handbook, which is a massive increase from 2014 because I counted them. There's 42. So this is a massive increase of the number of feats to choose from. I love feats. Ever since I started playing using feats in my games, I've really become a big fan of them. And I didn't think I would, but here I am. I love feats, and I love like sort of power maxing the feats, and getting that good synergy between feats. Um, and then the handbook provides guidance on using older species and backgrounds while establishing a canonical version for those appearing in the new book. So just like an integration between the 2014 Player's Handbook, the species in there, and 2024 Player's Handbook. All in all, I have to say, I do think this is a very good addition for 2024. Again, I think what this does is it not only it it allows you to do any race and sort of play any class, right? Like, because in 2014, some races are better at certain classes than others, and it doesn't. It's like you really don't mix and match them much. Like if you're playing a dwarf, yeah, you don't really go for like a wizard or something like that, but like now I think this is, and they've said as much, this is their reason for doing this, because they want you to be able to choose a species and a class that you want to play. So they want you to just be able to like go, I want to be a dwarf sorcerer. And that's not a problem. And you can make that work. The other thing that I really think is good here, right, is that there are having players, and especially true for new players, they're making it more intuitive for them to think about their character's background when they create their character. And I think that's good, because that's the role-playing aspect that I love. I want my players to like sort of have to be able to know who their character is, to have something in mind for their character, like where their character came from, more than just the campaign or whatever that we're playing. I want them to have some backstory there, something that ties them to this world. Like, why are they a fighter? Why are they doing this? And I think that's really important. And it gets them into, and if they can do that, I think they have more fun. Plain and simple. I think players that can do that and develop a character with a richer backstory have more fun. That's it. And I think for 2024, they've decided that that is true and that they're going to do that as well. And they decided to lean into that. And, I couldn't be happier. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. This is something that I'm definitely going to embrace at my table. And I definitely already do when I try to get my players to do backgrounds. Like I work with them a pretty good amount in session 0 about getting their backgrounds together, so they have motivation beyond just the campaign or finding gold or riches or whatever, and so I'm very excited about the new player's handbook, and that they've embraced this sort of attitude, and they've added a lot more feats. I mean, 70, 75. Wow. Compared to 42, that's going to be great. I love feats. And so, yeah, well, let's check it out when it comes out. But I told you this is going to be quick and short. I think this is a really good addition. Be sure to stay tuned on my channel. I'm going to discuss all these things coming up for 2024 Player's Handbook. And then after that, I'm going to discuss all the things coming up for 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide. And we're just going to keep having these D&D discussions about this wonderful game. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. And I will see you later. Bye.